Well met. Today's session of the Magical Human Show, where I am joined by my wonderful fiery colleague, June, and we're here to talk to you about the impending lunar eclipse in Virgo for the Ash full moon on Tuesday, the 3rd of March. I should remember that's my wedding anniversary. And I'm
Oh, lovely. How nice. Congratulations. It's at 11:39, I believe. I just checked with the lovely Pam.
well, you check away.
Yeah, because, we're not going to see it because it's mostly the lunar eclipse is going to be in Southeast Asia and around that area. So,
We very rarely get to see these things,
no.
but it's the
Mm.
energy that we will experience. I might see it. I'll be in Iceland.
Will you? Is that your anniversary present?
I think so, yeah. A short
Ooh.
trip to Iceland to go and buy some frozen peas.
Do you know what I found out yesterday? The only horses allowed in Iceland are the native Icelandic horses. No other horses can be transported in there.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, half a fact, June. Half a fact.
Useless information. I'm
I'm
full
gonna
of
have
it.
to find out when I go to Iceland. I'm gonna be saying to them, why are you
Ask
not
them.
allowing any other horses in here?
Tell me about the horse situation. Yes.
That'll be my first question.
Are you going to the hot springs?
I presume so, yeah.
Lovely. I've never been, but I did go to one in Canada when I was much younger. Yeah. They smell horrible. They're all sulfuric, but it's okay. You can pretend you're in a volcano or
Which I
something.
often feel like anyway, just from living inside myself. But yes, absolutely.
At the moment, Jesus,
I
what
know.
the hell? Swearing. This is going to be a sweary one, I think. I have a feeling. There's
Okay.
there's such a lot of stuff bubbling up. I hardly slept last night because I was so worried about this little gadget that I have loved and used for the last 5 years, probably. And it is on its last legs, but then the cat more or less wrecked the
We're
hinges.
talking about her laptop, just in case
This
anybody's
thing that we're working with here, yes, this lovely laptop that I've got still working just. Um, and yeah, I was really stressed about it. So of course I didn't sleep. I just doom scrolled on my phone. And that's when I found out about the Icelandic horses. So yeah, it was the middle of the night. I can't remember anyway, but it was a horse themed post. It was all full of interesting facts about horses, which of course, being a horse, I love, I don't have an affinity with horses as such. I really don't. I've never really ridden horses much. Um, I think they're big and scary.
Yeah, I love horses, but yeah, a lot of people
Mm.
feel that way. It's really interesting
Mm.
considering once they were our main mode of transport. It's
Well,
quite interesting that we've kind of really gone way back from that to a fear.
yeah, they're not our closest, but the closest animals to humans generally are horses and dogs. They
Yeah,
are the ones
the
that
most domesticated.
traditionally we have had the most to do with.
Yeah.
Um, as in, but the
Wow.
dogs that people used to have are not the same as the pets that people carry in their handbags right now.
I
Not
have to
the
laugh.
same.
No, I have to laugh. Yesterday I went hawking.
Oh,
My life has been very interesting recently. I came back from Marrakesh at the weekend, then I
oh,
went hawking, and when I was hawking yesterday, the one of my friends that came with me and the guy that runs the hawking outfit, they are both dog lovers and dog trainers, and they were both saying they had stopped training dogs because they couldn't deal with the humans on the end of the dogs that were trying to humanify, which is
anthropomorphize.
anthropomorphize their animals and refusing to understand the temperament of the dog and saying the dogs had personalities when dogs have temperaments. And yeah, and they both got out of the game because they were like, I can't be dealing with this because people have just become absolutely they just don't understand the animals they own or have been taken care of. They just, everyone, they
Mm.
do, but humans try and do that with everything, is try and anthropomorphize cats, dogs, any kind of
Um,
pet. Is like, you don't need to understand the instincts of those pets where you don't need to do anything. You make your own choices. But
Yeah, people can do what they need to do as long as they're not harming and torturing them. And it's borderline abuse, in my opinion. I watched a video on something the other day of a woman with her cat taking it out for a walk in the snow. It had little boots on, it had a jacket on, and then it had a little hood thing that covered its ears. And I mean, I'm just going, what the hell? And
that
she's going, the cat loves it. And I'm going, really? The cat is tolerating this because the cat thinks you're the person who looks after it, and you must, have some reason for doing this.
clickbait.
Yeah. Oh, it's just.
People, I have to say that leads us nicely on to my absolute genuine disgust by all the videos people are posting, which is just self-promotion, anything to get a look or a like really ha exercising no common sense, no privacy, just doing anything and everything for likes. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah, more swearing. Yeah, yeah, it's that sort of a day. Well, as you pointed out earlier on to me when I was having a little panic about us not being able to do this because my laptop wasn't working, I thought you said how very Mercury retrograde. And of course, here we are. Yeah, here we are. Trying to communicate with people, hoping that they'll listen to this and gain some nuggets of wisdom and interest. But yeah, I mean, oh, geez, it's difficult, isn't it? It's really difficult.
Well, I have a different take on Mercury retrograde because it's Mercury retrograde in Pisces. And I think it really is important to distinguish which zodiac sign any of these planets are in to really understand the flavor of the
Yes.
energy. And what tends to happen when Mercury goes retrograde is everyone runs for the hills and battens down the hatches, expecting the very worst. How
Yeah, that's nuts.
well, yeah. And what Mercury retrograde in Pisces is all about is a karmic, an inward, an invitation to step inwards, which is what retrogrades are all about, but it's a karmic resettling. It's asking you to thread back through your needle and check that actually you're on the path, doing the things that you want to do that are aligned with your soul purpose. So it is quite gentle, this one. It's not a kind of, bash you around the head kind of retrograde. And I would say that anything that goes wrong, i.e., technology, etc., is in response to a rush, i.e., you rushing, not you, June.
Panicking. Yes, well, I was.
Panicking,
I've been
rushing,
panicking
overthinking.
about this being broken for the last month, really, and a half. And of course, waiting for it to break and expecting it to break. And therefore, when I couldn't get the mouse to move, I thought, oh, it's done. It's decided to die right now. Good timing. But you see, it's all about communication, Mercury, really. And I feel that it's an opportunity to make sure that our communication is clear and that we are being understood.
But it's soul alignment. It's like,
Yeah.
are you speaking authentically from your soul? Because Pisces is all about karma and soulfulness, and it's the kind of the water sign that represents all of that stuff. So
Mm.
Mercury going backwards in that is just saying, come on, is this really what you meant to say? Is this really
Yes.
how you wish to be relating to other people? So I
Yeah.
think it's, don't everyone needs to just be gentle with themselves until the 21st. So it comes out again, interestingly, on spring equinox.
Yeah.
So, and that's when the light side awakens. So this is like another opportunity to make sure before you step into your light side on the 21st and really get active in your fields that you are aligned.
Yes.
It's just,
Yes.
it's that and nothing more. I mean, we've got the North Node as well is in it's basically in Pisces, and we've got the
Mm.
Virgo lunar eclipse. So there is a whole kind of issue here because Virgo is the South Node, which is the old self, the releasing self, and the North Node is the drawing to self. And so, with this full moon lunar eclipse being in Virgo, this is saying, come on, let's drop some of this self-criticism. Let's drop some of this over-analysis. Let's drop some of this hyper-independence. We are a community. We do need each other. And let's drop some of this fucking needless perfectionism because it doesn't get us anywhere. We are not designed to be perfect. The
No.
whole,
Well, otherwise we wouldn't learn anything.
no,
If we were floating through life doing everything correctly,
you don't
where
make
are the
mistakes then.
mistakes that help us learn stuff?
Absolutely. And what we're always trying to do, even on a cellular, granular level, is reclaim balance.
Yeah,
Everything is about finding balance.
yeah.
So, the
And
simple.
you can't really find it unless you fall out of balance. Because how would you know what balance is if you haven't got something to compare it to? And you go, okay, I forgive myself for being such a numpty this morning and pressing the mute button on a switch off button on my mouse and then having to run down to the guy. Thank God they're only 5 minutes walk away. But there were a load of other numpties in there too who'd done stupid things with their computers. And they're just so kind and gentle and lovely and non-judgmental and just like really helpful. And I love them to pieces.
And you're going to put a shout out in the description for that firm.
I am indeed. I am indeed.
So that
I send
everybody in
people to
your
them all the
knows
time.
where to find them because that's
Mm,
important. Good
yeah,
customer services and good people, because
good.
there's a lot of scamming going along, a lot of deception because people are, scrabbling around for, the resources, the meager resources that are there because Uranus is still traveling through Taurus, shaking everything up and destabilizing the material
Mm,
world.
yeah.
So it's a tricky time, but it's
Mm.
okay. It kind of feels, to me anyway, I feel okay at the moment. This is probably famous last words. Quick.
Well, I also feel okay considering there's a whole load of like stuff that's out
Stuff
there and
going
also
on
in
out
my
there.
little life as well that needs addressing. But we can do this. We can so do this. And if we stay grounded, we don't have to gallop all the time on the horse. Like I said last time, the horse can also walk and settle and have a munch on the grass and have a lie down if it wants to. Please, people, lie down when you need to. Honestly, I feel like I'm a living example of that. I came home yesterday afternoon and went to sleep for 2 hours. It was just so nice.
I don't
So
have your
nice.
life, June, but I wish I did sometimes.
Mm.
It sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
my responsibilities in the home are just me. I
No,
don't have other people to take into account. So I am incredibly selfish in that way. But having spent the last 40 years plus of my life worrying about other people, I'm kind of like, okay,
you're due.
now I'm
No,
going to be a little bit just looking
anyone
after
is
me.
due to do that. My God. Just think when you're raising
Yeah.
children, it's not
Yeah.
very easy because, I mean, it would be great to do things like that, but life just isn't set up like that.
No.
In our culture, and that is a fault of our culture. There's not enough
Yeah.
rest breaks, and there's too much rushing going on.
Mm.
Um, what was I going to say? Yes, last night in my circle, my opening meditation was quite interesting. So I was vaguely aware of the astrology as much as I'm always aware of the astrology. So it wasn't really in my immediate consciousness, but I landed up because it's Ash, and Ash is the third Celtic tree moon, and Ash is the psychic tree. Ash is a combination of ruled by Neptune and the sun. So you've got the watery depths and you've got the light. So you've got the fire, those two elements, water and fire
Perfect.
coming together, right? Which creates steam if you're rushing, but otherwise
Hmm.
can make a nice warm thermal that you can climb in and sit in like a hot spring and
Yeah.
be nourished. So I landed up taking people down on a pirate ship down to the bottom of their roots in Earth. It was quite interesting. And then it all got very pirate. And then their fire horses, I got them to get their fire horses in and have established their relationships. I'm always doing that with their horses and seeing how their horses were and Did they want to ride their horses? Did they want to guide their horses? Who had the reins? That kind of stuff. How tightly were you holding those reins? You know, a bit of consciousness around the surrender part of the spiritual pathway, which is, yes, it doesn't mean it's surrendering to the point of no responsibility, but it does mean, having a gentle hold on the reins of your life and not gripping them out of fear. So,
Yes.
there can be a bit more intuition, a bit more flow, and a bit more magic in your life. And then there was a lot of, yeah, silver and a lot of nerve work, like a lot of nerve work, a lot of silver nerve work. So getting the energy up to soothe and silver the nervous system so
Wow.
that connection to the above could be very kind of, just very in flow. Anyway, I'm probably not explaining it very well, but it was good. I enjoyed
I
it.
feel it. I can feel it. I
Yeah,
hope other people can. But I think this silver has always been aligned to the moon as well. So it
yeah.
brings that background
And ash
to
is a
that.
silvery tree, and it's like,
Hmm.
right, what have we got going on here with
Yeah.
that kind of like like connection to the like its roots above and roots below, basically, but the roots above
Mm.
are kind of like silvery, kind of like almost like mycelium that you see, the little
Yes.
silver threads in the soil. That's what it's
Yes.
like above and all around, actually. So that
Yes.
was interesting. And then another thing that happened to me this week was I'm having some sessions, somatic hypnotherapy sessions to
Mm.
calm my nervous system because I've lived in fight or flight for
Mm.
50 years now and I'm a bit over it.
Yeah.
And we went into my heart and we discovered that in my heart there is a blonde surfer dude who's actually called Alan. And he's got blonde curly hair and he's quite tanned and all he wants to do is surf. And I was telling the circle last night, and one of the circle people said, that is Bordeaux or something, a shamanic guide that lives in the heart that is a blonde surfer dude. And I was like, how crazy of synchronicity is that? And I think what it means, and what it means to me is the heart, my heart is water. It just wants to be on the waves, but it wants the simple things in life. It wants the joy of the good weather, the smell of the sea, the texture of the sea, the freedom to be a bit more laid back, a bit more relaxed, a bit more, hey, dude, don't make things overcomplicated. So I think that heart energy is very simple and very kind of pure. There's just pure joy. And Alan's got gold curly hair because of the sun, and Apollo is the ruler of the ring finger and the heart, and Apollo is a ruler of the sun and Leo. So you've got all these kind of beautiful connections, and it is a masculine energy. So I just thought, wow, I love all those layers.
Except that I'm not entirely sure how relaxing surfing is, having watched a numerous people doing it. It's quite they're quite it's the juxtaposition. They have to be relaxed, but also tense at the same time. And they have to be aware of their mortality because the waves can actually kill them. It's very life and death kind of stuff. You have to catch the wave at the right moment. Never done it, but watched it. And I just think, wow. But did the Celts have surfer dudes? What are you saying?
No, but I hear what you're saying about the water thing, but I think there's something about catching the wave, going with the flow. And
Hmm.
when surfers do wipe out, they just go soft. They surrender to it. They
Yes.
just give in. It's like, and they know that they'll eventually find their way back to the beach. Now, I'm not talking about the big waves that kill people, the surfboards that knock out their heads, or the sharks that are waiting on the other side of that wave to
Yeah, yeah, because
heal.
yeah.
I'm not
Mm,
talking about that. I'm
no. Little waves.
the
Little
perfect
manageable.
principle of surfing, and you're right, you have to learn how to do it. It's
Yeah.
not something, and I thought, God, I'm going to go to surf school. That was my next thought.
Next
I'm going to
thing.
go to surf school in Morocco because it's nice and warm and nice and cheap. But I was just thinking,
Yeah.
it's that thing of, yes, you do have to practice that to have that simple life. You have to put in a lot of work, and I
Yes.
think people expect the simplicity without the work and underestimate the price of that simplicity. It's like people underestimating the price of peace. Everyone always
Yeah.
says, I want inner peace. Well, yeah, everyone wants inner peace, but if you want inner peace, you're going to have to work at it. As kind of juxtapozy as that sounds, it's like you have
Yeah,
to make the effort to get to that
yeah,
space, to put in the hours. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely true. And I was lying there last night worrying about stuff and thinking I should be meditating. And said I got my book out and started reading my book, which was quite soothing, so that was good. But yeah, yeah,
because you,
I couldn't there's sometimes when I just can't because I'm so yang
yeah,
that
yeah,
I
I'm with you.
can't get in touch with my yin. And I've always been very yang, and that's partly why, stress hormones and so on and so forth. But that's why I'm looking forward to this kinesiology 4-day workshop
When's this?
that's coming up. We talked about that
Yeah,
last
and
time.
we advertised it.
Yes, we did. And it's going to be all about the
But remind me
ancestral
when it is.
patterns that we inherit that are in our emotions, but then they get stuck in our energy field. And
That's with your friends. And when is it though? Remind me
it's the 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th.
of April.
Yeah, no, March. It's in 2 weeks.
Oh God. Okay. Yes.
Because
Very
you were
cool.
interested, but I don't think you're going to be able to come, are you?
No, because I've got a client on the 13th and 16th. But I'll be there in practice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When when everyone's grown up, and if they ever leave home, I have these hopes that I will, go to sleep for 2 hours on the sofa and commit my life to just living well, really. And I do live
Mm.
well. Do you want to tackle me about what we were talking about before we went live on air?
Oh, yeah. Well, it follows on from the computer discussion because I've been looking at trying to stop myself being tracked all the time because it's just getting worse. And I don't want to be paranoid and I don't want to put the wind up people and fearmonger. But there are measures that we can take to take back control. I mean, this is always the thing. Take back control of our health. Always been my thing, helping people understand how to look after themselves. And also with these systems that we are so enmeshed with. And I think you said it quite well. You didn't say enmeshed, you said you're in the system. And I think, well, yes, but we have become enmeshed. Let's just say that.
We are.
Um, and to an extent, it's too much trouble to disentangle ourselves. So I've been doing it step by step, little bit by little bit. And then I've discovered these guys who are called Reboot Privacy, and I will put the link for their thing in the thing as well. Um, because they do reconditioned laptops and phones that have got no Google on them and no Microsoft. And to me, that just feels like a breath of fresh air because I can feel them lurking over my shoulder, looking at all my stuff. And plus, I feel like they have access to all of my contacts. It's not just about me. I have my patient phone numbers and emails in and messages with patients as well, if they wanted to. And as you said, I'm not that important. I'm not. However, they are building all these data centers where they are going to be storing a lot of nonsense. I don't think they're going to succeed. By the way things are bifurcating, there are two potential timelines, and one is that where they have even more control. The other one is where we have more control. But I think for me, I have to actually do something because being so yang and horsey, I can't not do something. So that's what I'm up to because I think the lovely thing about these guys is that they're going to give me a laptop that has got a special place to put all the things that I can't quite let go of just yet, like YouTube and Facebook and that kind of stuff. But it's contained within a safe space, so that it's not going to be. And having a VPN is all very well, but they can get past that too if they really want to. I mean, they've got guys working on this kind of stuff who have got brains the size of I don't know what.
My husband.
Um, yeah, they're just incredible. And they're, they love working on it's like a puzzle to them, cracking codes and hacking things. Not your husband, but these other
No,
guys.
no, no, he's not a white hat hacker. That's what they're called, white hat hackers,
Or even the not white hat hackers.
or the black hat hackers. He's
Yes.
none of those, but he
Mm.
manages our IT infrastructure, and we have a separate NAS drive and VPNs, and we have as much
You
security.
have you have done what you can do right now. That's
We
all we
have,
can do,
and
right?
I fully, absolutely own the fact that I am Googled up to the eyeballs, because of the ease of it and my absolute fucking hatred of technology. June finds this very difficult, and this is what we're talking about. She actually handled me and her bringing that up beautifully just now because she was horrified earlier.
Well,
But
and it makes me laugh because it's like you saying you're Googled up to the eyeballs, and I think to an extent we can't escape entirely for the moment, and I'm perfectly aware of that. But I feel like now's the time for me, and we have to seize the
oh,
moment and do whatever we can do. That's all.
absolutely. And I
Mm.
don't really keep I keep client reports online, but the notes and the private sessions are all paper based.
Oh, the notes, exactly. The notes are paper-based, but it's the phone numbers that they want.
I
They
don't
they
have
want
those.
the phone numbers and the emails, and they're in my phone.
Oh, okay. Yes. But
People
I
call
also
me on
get
there. I save their numbers.
that
Yeah.
that's true. No, I have that too. But yeah, our followers are gonna be, either side. I think that when you've got I still think it all comes down to children having people in the system, the education system, everything else, you land up, not people that are homeschooling or anything like that, because they get better choices. They can really step away. But when you're in a system, you're paying for school meals, you're doing this, you're doing that, la la la, and it is easier to be in it, but ring fenced within it, which is
Yes,
kind of
that's
really hard.
exactly what we're both saying, really.
And I don't, I'm not
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
avid user of these things. I absolutely hate technology. I hate forms and I hate technology. I find them, I
Mm.
just can't cope with them. But you give me a person to read and I can read them. So,
Mm.
what can I
And
do?
what I'm loving is doing online consultations because it's only a method of connecting our energy to somebody who's not in the room with us. And it's not the machine that allows us to do that. We are connecting above,
Oh,
over and
yeah,
above, beside,
absolutely.
around the machine in a way. It's absolutely fascinating. I can do a balance on someone who is in Wales,
I
for
know.
example,
I
and
know.
she feels the benefit straight away
I know.
because I'm using myself to balance her. But then, of course, we have to detach. We have to use, I mean, I'm forever using the infinity wave to detach myself again. But yeah, I mean, I think what was I going to say about this? The way forward. I think that's what we have to look at is what kind of world do we want to create? And the home educators are being they're under a lot of surveillance right now too because the powers that think they're in charge are trying to corral people again. But this is why we're in the horse, because horses will just leap over the fence. They're not going to be corralled.
Not fight
No,
horses. I'll just burn through the bloody fences. It's like, forget it. I'm not doing that. And
no, that's right.
I just wish I could have home educated, but yeah.
Me
I,
too, me too. But there's lots of ways that we can do things, and I probably well, what I'm going to say now is very exciting news. I got interviewed by Reverend Tina on Substack, and she came up here to see me a couple of weeks ago, and now she's posted it on Substack. I'll put the link to that. If people want to hear about my ridiculous wiggly road, how I got to where I am now,
oh, I'm
it
sure
was
that will
it
be.
was such fun. It was such fun, and I interviewed her. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up more chats with people and get people in who I think are really interesting, even though I've only got 49 people subscribe to
Yeah,
my
or June. I'm supposed to be doing that, but have never had the time, but will be doing that too.
yes, and I think I'm going to probably use Rumble more.
Okay.
I've got things on Rumble and YouTube and Substack. Substack is also succumbing to the control thing, and you have to do age verification. If you want to send a message to somebody, you have to prove your age. And I'm going, well, I don't think I really want to do that. I mean, I don't care who knows I'm 71, but it's like
Oh, I know, but it's just like,
it's not it's
why?
you have to take your picture with your identification and all that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous.
I'll be sticking with YouTube because it's easy and I'm in the system. But anyway,
Well, yes, I mean it's also more people know about it.
it's
Mm,
accessibility. And
mm, mm.
if you put your protection around yourself, then
Mm.
you're going to be protected. And
Yeah,
it's a game. This is life. It's a game.
yeah, it is.
And
And
remember
lots
that.
of people I follow have both.
I have little fire hands over there.
They
Little tiny
they
little fire hands. Um,
they
we
put both out at the same time. And
well,
they do
that's it. Like,
live streaming and all sorts of malarkey. I don't want to spend all my time on my laptop though. I think it's more important, even when I get my new one that I'm going to be in love with. I can see it coming. I want to spend more time with real people.
I know, but you sometimes can't get to them. So it's like, either or.
Yeah,
It's either
yeah.
or. Oh,
It's
no,
balance. It's
it's
all
not.
about
It's
balance.
all about balance. Right. On that lovely note, we're going to go, June, because you need to get on with some stuff. I need to get on with some stuff. Blessed be everyone. Prepare well for Tuesday, please, and the ash full moon and the lunar eclipse, and really be thinking about how you can drop your perfectionism and your self-criticism and start being kinder to yourself in this Mercury retrograde because, it's all about love, self-love. That's where it starts, and then it spreads on to love to everybody else. Ripples out.
Absolutely. Be happy.
Be
Whatever the situation, try and find the happiness in
or
it
try and find the gratitude.
and
Count
the
your
gratitude.
wins, not your losses.
Yes.